Welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali, your #1 current affairs program viewers for the last 7 years. Yes, for the last 7 years. So viewers, we're going straight in our news tonight. Speaking at the soil turning ceremony for the US $4.69 million Chatham water treatment plant, Minister of Public Utilities Clong and Bird have stated that he is excited about his new responsibility. He stated that water issues have been going on in his constituency for over 33 years. Listen to this.
Doing the groundwork out of office.
I'm excited. I really am. I mean, water supply is the biggest problem in my constituency. 33 years now. So I'm so happy not just to be able to deal with my own issues, but to be able to deal with water supply problems across the country. Of course, I've only been on the job for a week, so I have to get an understanding of what's happening before I make any significant comments on what will be done about water supply issues in the country. Okay?
So of course, it's not just under you.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I've only been minister a week. Right?
It's not just water, all public utilities. Is there an area of interest or something that concerns you a little more than the others that you plan to
the various divisions, departments and agencies that reported this ministry are Water and Sewage Authority, Trinidad and Tobago Electricity Commission, Solid Waste Management Company, the Regulated Industries Commission and MTS. I've started looking at WASA in detail because in my opinion that's the area that needs greatest improvement. I don't think we have any issues with electricity supply, and the others I think are manageable, but WASA needs a lot of work and I am ready for it. Okay, but as I said, I've only been minister for 1 week. I'm now getting an understanding of what's happening in the country.
Now, Clong and Bird, I want you to understand something. Yes, you have been the Minister of Public Utilities for 1 day. But at the same time, for the last 10 years, you have not been deaf to the public. I want you to understand that. You and your colleague, former Minister of Public Utilities, Marvin Gonzalez, have been on the same administration, meeting in the same parliament, having discussions and drinks together. So do not come now to this new portfolio and play like you're dense, play like you're dumb. No, don't do that. Do not do us that. Do not do us Trinbagonians that. For the last 10 years, you have been in office. You have been hearing from other ministers. You have been hearing from the public. You have been hearing from newscasts, on social media, on printed press. You have been hearing people complaining about water. Yes, this is a new ministry, very first day. But for the last 10 years, you have been there. So don't come on a media platform or do an interview and play like, well, this is the first time I'm hearing about it. And no, don't play dumb. Don't play dumb. I'll put you in your spot one time. I'll put you in your place one time. Don't do that. Don't do that. Now, viewers, he said in the coming weeks, in the coming days, he will also meet with WASA officials concerning the dry season that is coming up and to make water more tolerable and better for all. So, first of all, Minister in the Ministry of Public Utilities, Clong and Bird, I would like to congratulate you on your portfolio, but at the same time, don't play dumb, don't play mad, don't play like it's the first time you're hearing about it. Don't do that, please. Please don't do that. Even though I'm congratulating you on your new portfolio, don't act as if it's the first time you're hearing about water problem. Don't do that at all, at all, at all. So viewers, as we continue our program tonight, the Southwest Regional Health Authority has launched an internal investigation into allegations that a first-time mother delivered her premature baby on a bed in a ward at a public health facility where the baby did not receive immediate care, it is alleged. Now, the allegation follows a video circulating on social media showing the young mother lying on a hospital bed with her newborn baby on top of her. The patient's sister recorded a video where she shouted for doctor's assistance. Let's listen to this.
Is it that the doctors cannot do nothing for this child, or is it going to leave it to die? Because since morning she video calling me, right? Child in the passageway, right? I need to see a doctor now. This child is alive, and he's here to live. Get a doctor.
She said nothing was being done to help the child, nor the mother.
My sister to suffer so. It's your first child. The child have a heartbeat. Where's the help? Who is to say who live and die? But God and God alone.
So Trinidad and Tobago, our perfect healthcare system, according to Terence Dialsing, we are the best. The best. In a media release earlier today, the Southwest Regional Health Authority stated an internal investigation was launched into the incident to determine the extent of compliance to established practice and protocol. The health authority further stated that the baby was receiving specialist care at its highest risk neonatal intensive care unit. So Trinidad and Tobago, I want to ask you something. So something like this had to happen in our hospital? Something like this? The mother gave birth to the baby on the bed in a ward? You know, I keep telling all you, Trinidad and Tobago not going up, you know, we going down very fast. We going down. This is a pregnant woman. She was supposed to be monitored. Monitored on the ward. A pregnant woman. So let's just say that that woman gave birth to that child on that bed and the baby died. What would have happened? 2386716 is the number to call in. What would have happened, Trinidad and Tobago? We open a multi-million-dollar block in Port of Spain. And you know what it is? It's just a frame of a building. It's just a frame of a building. They rushed to open the building because Dr. Rowley was going to resign as Prime Minister. Imagine that, eh? Wanted his legacy to be fulfilled. Well, we opened the cell block at the Port of Spain General Hospital. Millions of dollars spent behind it. You open a frame, not a hospital. That is what you open. A frame. Same thing with the airport in Tobago. Multi-million-dollar project. And it's not in use. What was the purpose of opening it? Oh, Dr. Rowley opened the ANR terminal in Tobago. A multi-million-dollar project under Dr. Rowley's administration. Not the PNM, you know. Dr. Rowley administration. Sounds nice. Very nice it sounds. Is it functional? No, it's not functional. But nevertheless, Trinidad and Tobago, this is the country we live in, where we get half of the product and not the whole product. Aren't you all fed up? Aren't you all fed up of this? So, with all this being done and said on the PNM administration, where is the UNC? Where is the UNC? Where is the former health minister? Where is he? I am not hearing him. I am not hearing him. Where is he? Is he in Trinidad? Is he in our next country? Is he dead? We are not hearing them. All we hearing is Kamala. Kamala, Kamala, Kamala. Kamala, Kamala, Kamala. Kamala, Kamala, Kamala. Kamala lost the election 9 years and some months ago. But we still hearing Kamala didn't do this and Kamala didn't do that and Kamala didn't do the next. 10 years, you all in power. And what happened? What happened? But nevertheless, in the coming days leading up to the election, we have a lot in store for you. So you all will know the right from the wrong. Switching gears, Prime Minister Stuart Young have stated that a re-elected People National Movement government will establish a Ministry of Implementation and Efficiency to accelerate state projects. So this is where Stuart Young start bad, right there. Right there you start bad. So hear this. When a contract is being tendered for, and the contractor, however multiple contractors will tender for a project, one contractor will be selected. Is the ministry not efficient enough to make sure that that project runs smooth and deliveries on time? I'm asking a general question in the public domain on a live television broadcast. So in other words, is Stuart Young trying to tell us, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, that these ministries are not functional properly to make sure projects are finished on time and accounted for? Stuart Young, that's what you're telling me, you know. That is what you're telling me, you know. Call her good night. Hello? Hello? Stick here, get it click. So Stuart Young, is that what you're telling Trinidad and Tobago, that these ministry and them, they're not functional and they cannot take correction and they cannot take responsibility and they cannot execute a contract and let it finish on time with minimal expense? Call her there. Call her good night. So Stuart Young, is it that, or is it that you want to create something new? Is there money in the treasury now to fund this new ministry? So let's just say we have a lot of road contractors in Trinidad and Tobago. Let's just say Works and Transport, they put out a project, contractors tender for it, somebody win it. Why are we going to create now another ministry to make sure that this project is on track, is on time, less money being spent, and production is happening? You're going to create a new company just for this? So what happened to the Ministry of Works and Transport? Is that ministry not solid enough to make sure this project happens? Come on, man, Stuart Young, you're starting bad as a minister. You're then starting to spend. You want to create a new ministry efficiency? No, man. Hello? Something seems to be wrong with the phone line tonight. But nevertheless. This is madness, Stuart Young, this is madness. Imagine we created a secondary road rehabilitation company for the local government in Trinidad and Tobago. And over $200 million have been invested in that company already. And what are they showing for it? Come on. So how much money now is going to be invested in this company? Listen to this video.
I am going to introduce for the first time a Ministry of Implementation and Efficiency in the government of Trinidad and Tobago out of the office of the Prime Minister. Because for too long, things get lost in abeyance. And that ministry will have the ability, when I as Prime Minister say, hey, you see that Deepwater Harbour? I need that done. When I need this done and I need that done, that ministry will have the ability to go in, to get the inefficiencies done across the system, to break the bureaucracy within the confines of the law, but to get things done, because Trinidad and Tobago deserves better.
Now I'm short. I didn't expect it. It's the same thing I was saying about the highways. Who is responsible? Now the highway division gave out a contract. But who from the ministry that is collecting a large salary every 30 days to make sure this project is finished on time without over extra run and proper work? So you can tell me we have the Ministry of Works and nobody responsible for that? How much money is being spent on Ministry Works? You want to create something new now for what? For what, security? So what happened to the whole ministry that's been created, that existed for donkey years? Well, then send home them good-for-nothing people and rehire new people. You don't want to create another ministry for that? Call it good night. Hello? I think I got to click one time. Now, Trinidad and Tobago, Young dismissed concerns that the United National Congress might obstruct constitutional reform, saying the new ministry would still drive progress. Listen to this.
If they're the opposition, who will still be the opposition, try to stand in the way of constitutional reform, etc., fine. That Ministry of Implementation and Efficiency, out of the office of the Prime Minister, with me riding them and them riding everybody else, will get a lot done in that period.
So, Stuart Young, since you have this great idea, right, why it is this wasn't implemented 5 years ago? How many times you acted as Prime Minister in Trinidad and Tobago? How many times you made decisions after informing Dr. Keith Rowley? How many times? I will tell you something on national television. You could fool all the people all the time, but you can't fool some of the people all the time, Stuarty. You can't do that. You cannot do that. You go tell me you have this idea and you wait till they appoint you as a minister and then you come up with this great idea. Hey, here, listen, I thought the treasury had no money. Caller, you there?
Yes,
Go right ahead, your life.
Great show. Again, once to you and your staff.
Thank you.
But Mr. Saeed, here it is. Mr. Saeed, what operation we want from public servants that working for 2013 salaries in 2025? All those ministries of the government, all the workers of those ministries, Mr. Saeed, all them workers is public servants. We are working on 2013 salaries, Mr. Stuart, Mr. Rowley, all who put up all your money and all kind of things. What we, the public, expect from public servants and the public is the same thing as we working, but we working on 2013 salaries. And they have to understand that 2013 salaries in 2025 is 1 hour work, sir. It could be calculated as 1 hour work for the day. Right? Nobody cares about that. The next thing is, he wants to put a ministry of efficiency and whatever. That's the reason for doing that. Is because he has somebody of personal interest to lead those two ministries.
Thank you. Thank you, my friend. So who is going to run who is the person going to control this ministry? And how much money is going to be pumped into this new ministry, while the rest of ministry is lackadaisical people working in it. They can't get the job done, but yet every 30 days, you're collecting a huge salary and you're going home. What are people doing there? So you think you could answer that? What the hell are people doing there? Trinidad and Tobago, we are going for a short commercial break. But when we come back, we're going to hear what Leons have to say concerning ties with the UK company. And I didn't know he was a drugs man. After this.
We'll be right back.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Realtalk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Realtalk Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
Throws you a curveball, and you need a clear path forward. Trust Realtalk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Realtalk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Realtalk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
At Realtalk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the blaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
Realtalk Financing is offering you 5% on a fixed deposit for 5 years and over, with upfront interest. Contact our central office at 238-6716 or our San Fernando office at 242-9944. You don't want to miss this great opportunity. Invest today and watch your investment work for you.
Welcome back.
Call good night.
Internet done out, I go by.
Hello?
Hello?
You're live, go right ahead.
Hello?
Yes?
Mr. Saieed?
Go right ahead, I'm listening.
You hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Just a minute, eh?
So listen to Trinidad and Tobago. Minister of Housing and Lavantel East Mover, Adrian Leons, is now in hot seat after admitting to registering a UK-based company using another person's address in that country before terminating the company. However, Leons insisted he has done nothing wrong and rejected accusation of illegal activity linked to the company. there has been claims that the high-ranking government official was one of two people linked to a company formed in the UK in September 2023. The other director of the company was later allegedly discovered to have international criminal ties across the United States, the Caribbean, and Europe. It is alleged, viewers. In his response, Leons confirmed that he used a Trinidadian businessman UK address to set up an engineering and construction company in Britain in September 2023. However, Leons said a further information search was initiated during the registration process. A few months later, Leon said he got new information on the individual, given an insight into why he started the business. Leon said, having studied in the UK, he decided to start it as part of his plan to re-enter the engineering and construction industry after a decade in politics. However, opposition MP Dr. Rudal Munilal described the revelation as deeply troubling, saying it appeared that Leons had failed to conduct proper due diligence in the matter. Listen to this.
Years, Rowley and Stuart Young and so on used to accuse members of the UNC of having gang friends and criminal friends and all them kind of thing. Did you see a headline in the Sunday Express? Look, I have the whole big Express here. Look at here. Secret deals and dirty money. This is a headline in the Sunday Express. This headline, I don't have time to read the article for you, but this speaks to the involvement of a high government official with very notorious, allegedly criminal elements across the continents of Europe, North America, and elsewhere. A minister, an official of government linked to notorious characters in deals. Do you know a few minutes ago, just about 2 hours ago, a minister of government by the name of Adrian Leons, he is the Minister of Housing. He issued a statement. He said, in case all you're wondering is me. He said, in case all you're wondering is me, I am that person. Minister Leons was handpicked by Stuart Young. His first job was appointing a cabinet. Stuart Young knew of the alleged involvement between Minister Leons and others. He knew of that. He was on the National Security Council. But I know what I read, and I read what he said. And he said, it is me. I formed a partnership, a deal with an individual who he says he later discovered that law enforcement had identified that person. That speaks to Stuart Young. He has no judgment if he can put persons like this in the cabinet of Trinidad and Tobago.
Munilal also raised questions about whether Leons had properly declared the venture to the Integrity Commission, adding that the opposition would be demanding answers.
Tonight I asked whether Adrian Leons declared to the Integrity Commission, that company, whether he declared it to the Integrity Commission, and failure to do that is a breach of the Integrity in Public Life Act. Failure to do that. And the Integrity Commission must investigate that matter. And Camille, you are the Attorney General. You knew that. You knew what he was doing.
So now Trinidad and Tobago also contacted Integrity Commissioner Chairman Hayden Gittins, said he was not aware of Leon's statement or if Leons had in fact declared that he had an interest in a UK company. He said he preferred not to comment directly on those matters. Commenting on the issue earlier today, Prime Minister Stuart Young stated that this is a season of allegations that believes that Leons has provided a statement.
So you would have seen a statement come out from the Honourable Adrian Leons yesterday. I perused the statement very carefully, and yes, I mean, when I saw the newspaper article, I did have a conversation with him. The statement is in line with what he told me. And what we've seen is his explanation that there was registration of a company. We've seen the reason why it ended up with that individual, and immediately upon being warned, the action he took, which was to come off of the company. The company, I have been told, never did any trading, there's no bank account, etc.
So are you satisfied with the outcome of that? And what would you say to people who are now skeptical of Minister Leon's and his integrity?
This is a season where you're going to get a lot of allegations, you're going to get a lot of propaganda. So what I saw in his statement yesterday, that's his assurance as he's giving not only me, the Prime Minister, but the population. And I believe that in Trinidad, he has provided his statement, so we go with that.
Well, Sir Chung, let the people decide that, not you. That's for the people. People's National Movement, PNM, candidate for Komoto Manzalina, Sanjeev Bodu, have stated that he wants a society where elected representatives advocate for from the trench rather than from ivory tower. Bodu described living conditions in parts of the constituency as unacceptable and referred communities like Coral, where some residents have lived without water for up to 17 years. He also pointed to the lack of proper road, drainage, and school across the district. He said he wants change for Komoto Manzalina and believes the solution lies in consultation and consistent effectiveness representation. Listen to this.
And it is because I want this type of representation for myself, I have offered myself to serve. It is because I have not experienced that type of representation in Komoto Manzanilla for my entire life. I have decided to serve. It is because that I believe that no child, no person should have to live without water for 17 years, like we heard Neil say today, like what happens in Koreal or what has been happening in Koreal and other areas, without proper roads, drainage, schools. But friends, how do we get these things? How do we get the job done? And I say to you, we get the job done by starting on the ground with consultation and representation.
So now Trinidad and Tobago, I want to ask Oli a question. He wants this now. Who is the PNM councillor for Manzalina Komoto? Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr. Said. Great
Go
program
right ahead.
and fiery program as usual, man.
Let your block fight.
I want this fella they call Gonzales. Inefficient Gonzales. Waste of time Gonzales. Now the Minister of National Security is telling the citizens of this country his first priority is to weed out corruption and criminals from the police service. Mr. Gonzales, you have to start with yourself. Tell the citizens of this country you hire a man and pay you over $100,000 a month to do what? There was no improvement in the water supply in this country. And if you don't know, go and ask your grandfather, your grandmother, your mother, and your father, and they will tell you every wrongdoing in this country, every crime, every lawless act, every corrupt act, every underhand dealing is connected to politicians and the police service. Do you know there are multiple gangs in the police service? But you want to weed out corruption, you have to start with you and that notorious gang that you are part of. The police service is just a reflection of the notorious gang you are part of, and that is what we see. You ask your mother and father, if I was your mother or father, boy, I'll beat you with a good Tamron whip, you know. You know why? You telling the citizen you will get up one man and say, boy, I don't want rain to fall on you. You could stop the rain from falling, you could stop the sun from shining and the wind from blowing. You could stop corruption and bubble in the police service. If you want to stop that, the first thing you must do, repeal that crack windscreen law, and then we're going to know you have good intention for your fellow citizens of this country. Mr. Said, God bless you and your staff. Keep up the great work, brother.
So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but we'll be back with this PNM candidate for Komoto Manzalena.
We'll be right back.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Realtor Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Realtor Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
Life throws you a curveball, and you need a clear path forward. Trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the blaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
Real Talk Financing is offering you 5% on a fixed deposit for 5 years and over with upfront interest. Contact our central office at 238-6716 or our San Fernando office at 242-9944. You don't want to miss this great opportunity. Invest today and watch your investment work for you.
Welcome back.
Now Trinidad and Tobago, back to Manzalena, Komoto. According to Komoto Manzalena, PNM candidate Sanjeev Budu, utilities, education, he pledged, now listen to this, utilities, Budu proposed constant monitoring of water and electricity supply system and improved oversight to ensure that infrastructure upgrade are coordinated across ministries. Listen to this.
Water and electricity for all. Now what does that require? That requires a constant monitoring of the supply networks, the management and oversight, and an all of government approach to avoid interference with newly built roadways in particular, and the placement of electrical infrastructure along road reserves, as we sometimes see in the constituency done. Especially where we have unplanned developments, as we do in this constituency, and agricultural areas that are earmarked for infrastructural upgrades. So like at the end of Makshine Street right here, and inside Chocolate City, they have examples of that. You have lampposts in the road. That is the type of thing, when I say all of government approach, that is what I mean, and those are the functions of your member of parliament, to bring all the resources together to get the job done for the people in a way that it makes sense for you.
Now viewers, on education, he pledged to address the closure of several schools, including Tamana Hindu School, and raised concerns about their replacement with a shift system. He said education must continue to be a priority if we are to ensure the sustainable progress of our region and our country.
Schools and health centers. The closure of the Tamana Hindu School, North Manzanilla government. How long now? Sangre Chiquito Presbyterian, and the joining up and consolidating of these schools cannot be good for our children. And it puts a significant strain on our parents. So, I am intent on working with these school boards, the SDMS for the Tamana Hindu School, the Presbyterian Board for the Sangre Chiquito Presbyterian School, and the Ministry of Education to find out what are the ways we can address these issues in a sustainable way. Access to comfortable and safe education must continue to be a priority if we are to ensure the sustainable progress of this region and our country.
Now, Trinidad and Tobago, this is the first PNM councillor Kumoto Manzalena would have had. The last individual who stood for PNM would have been way back in the 80s. So there were no PNM councillor or MP standing up for Kumoto Manzalena. Back in the 80s, they used to call it the Nariva area. But nevertheless, so this individual decides to go up now. Now, in response to this, Rai Ragberi described Kumoto Manzalena as a vast area and emphasized that he had raised concerns in Parliament and in writing, and to date, nothing has done. According to Rai, the Hansard will show this. So viewers, the Hansard record in Parliament would show that Dr. Rai Ragberi raised concerns many times and nothing was done. So what was the PNM doing for that area all the time? Absolutely nothing. According to Sanjeev, schools have been shut down, education on the whole, utilities are a problem, electricity is a problem. So he have decided now, listen this, the same PNM, not being biased and not being racial, but the same PNM that neglected that same area, he now wants to go for that same area. For the last 10 years, what was going on? His mouth was zipped. Call a good night.
Good night to you, man.
Go right ahead, you're live.
Mr. Ali, that gentleman who talking and Toko Manzalena there, that young fella, why he ain't go and wash some kind of wares in the back of his mother house? Instead of talking stupidness, because he party in power. They are the power, they've been in power for 10 years. Are you criticizing your own party about the school, about the road, about the water? You understand? Mr. Ali, these people have something wrong with their head. You understand? You have a hand-picked Prime Minister talking about efficiency. You want to open a ministry.
Correct.
Is that ministry is about something that we know? You understand? I want to tell the people them something in this country. And you hear me talking a long time. The people in this country ought to wake up and understand that this PNM administration is about themselves. They catch them with their pants down. Because all of a sudden now they're trying to fix all about because they didn't know election with a call. Cummins.
So soon.
Cummins, but he didn't know. He didn't want to see the people there when they break down the house and thing. And he promised them when he gets into office he could help them. And today when they break it down, he didn't go. All of a sudden now you're going to meet them because election call, a stop election call. So people all watch and see what happening now. Watch and see what happening. So all what the PNM doing to all you, and I said, and Mama Guy and fooling all you, or let's tell them which part it was for the past 10 years. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you, my friend. So Trinidad and Tobago. Kumoto Manzalena. So which government was in power for the last 10 years? What about the gate funding? What about all the scholarship that was cut under the PNM? Now, Trinidad and Tobago, I keep saying on this program, on my program which I fund, I keep saying, I am not here to bash. I keep saying that. What? Trinidad and Tobago, I keep saying I am not here to bash. For the last 10 years, did the UNC held the PNM administration accountable? No, they rock back. They rock back. Did the PNM do as they said they were going to do 10 years back? Call good night.
Hello.
Go right ahead, you're live. Hello? Think you get the click. So the individual decide to go for the PNM councillor, MP for Komoto Manzalina. But ask yourself, my friend, nobody's against you joining the PNM. Nobody. But ask yourself, where was this same PNM for the last 10 years in your community? Where were they? Ask yourself that. You want to blame the UNC? No, the UNC wasn't there for 10 years. Caller, good night.
Good night.
Go right ahead, you're live.
Hi, good night.
I'm listening to you. Hello?
Hello, good night.
Good night, go right ahead. There's some problem, some connection problem. So I want the individual, I am glad he decided to represent his community. I give him kudos for this. But common sense will tell you, where were these same people 10 years ago? Today, I want to join these people who were not there 10 years ago while they were in power 10 years now. I am not here to bash. I am here to shed light. I am here to hold government officials accountable. Accountable. That is what I am here for. You think I run a non-government contract? No, I ain't running no government contract. For what? For my hand to get shortened? For this red tape and that red tape and the next red tape? No, and somebody need this and somebody need that, and somebody that got cut. No, let's keep all the damn thing. I don't need that. Now Trinidad and Tobago, election promise. Opposition leader Kamala Persad-Bissessar has detailed what a UNC coalition of interests will do during last night election campaign launched at the Naparima College in San Fernando. Caller? Okay, get it click. She said the UNC government will establish a national commission on the banking and financial sector to ensure citizens are not exploited and also to ensure fair distribution of foreign exchange. Kamala.
Businesses win with the establishment of a national commission, which we will do, of a commission on the banking and financial sector to make sure that you are not exploited by the high fees and interest rates that spreads, and that banks and financial institutions perform their essential development role of converting national savings into national investment. The Commission will also work to ensure a fair distribution of forex.
So Trinidad and Tobago, the opposition leader also pledged that that a government would pay compensation to the families of the dead LMCS divers, as the current government has failed to do so. Listen to Kamala one more time.
Tonight I understand and I know, I demand that the government pay the families of those divers. I tell you, when we win, that will be one of the first things I will do. That will be one of the first things that I will do.
Now, Trinidad and Tobago, for sad basis, said school will have full complement of required deans for discipline, security officers, school safety officers, and police officers to protect children. Listen to this.
You will not have to worry that your child is being bullied every day in school. I will send the police full-time into schools to stop your children from being terrorized.
Call it good night.
Yes, I. Good night.
Go right ahead, my friend.
Yes, I. Concern anything you're talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you something. People need to understand in this country, man. They need to understand quick that the only party that can remove the PNM is the UNC. No other party can do that, partner. People need to understand that. And I listened to the opposition leader talk last night. I seen some video clippings and things.
Mm-hmm.
The woman say that the pension bill still on the order paper, you know. So when they come back in power, if the PNM win the election, they come back, the old age pension go on in a partner. That way people, that way the pensioners have to understand now, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That it's still on the order paper, and she come out and say that last night, you know. So if the PNM come back, it's short, you know, the leader, they taking pension off of the table, you know. You have to apply for that as a grant now, you know. So people need to know where they're doing this election, you know. They need to have their head on their shoulder this election. Because a lot of people going to feel it after this election. I keep saying, listen, I don't know UNC. But at the end of the day, the opposition leader talking the talk. The poor man wants to hear.
Yeah.
The PNM is not doing that. People need to ask themselves one question, Ty, before I go. Ask yourself one question in your own mind. What is the PNM offering you if they win the election? The UNC don't tell you everything they're doing or not. And mind you, where's the opposition leader getting this money from to do all this? And the PNM saying they have no money. Where all that money going? But what is the PNM offering you after the election? Said, you enjoy your night, buddy.
Thank you, my friend. Now remember, when Rowley government came into office, they had money for 3 days, you know. And they're there 10 years now. 10 years now. Billions of dollars being allocated and spent. But they had no money. I remember that, eh? So Trinidad and Tobago, listen to this. We have about 6 or 7 minutes. I want to get your attention on this topic. In February of this year, Prime Minister Stuart Young disclosed that when the government entered into an agreement involving Shell and Venezuela to develop the Dragon gas field, money was paid to Venezuela. Young said he did not consider the money to be the bankrolling of the Venezuela regime and could not disclose how much was paid. Listen to this carefully.
The answer is yes. The answer is yes. Payments have been made with respect to Dragon. Can I tell you what the exact payments were made? I can't, not at this stage, because that is being handled by Shell and by NGC. With every license, including the other day in Trinidad and Tobago, you all would have seen if you were paying attention, this government granted, and I signed as the Minister of Energy, 2 production sharing contracts with EOG, something that they have not done for 20 years. I can report to the population of Trinidad and Tobago here today immediately on that signature of mine being put and the signature of EOG. Significant sums of US dollars were paid by EOG to the government of Trinidad and Tobago in something called a signing bonus. The same thing has happened with all of the other PSCs we do, every exploration and production license. Would that be considered significant? Are they bankrolling? That is the normal course of business in oil and gas sector. You sign a license, there are payments to be made. You sign a license, there are fees to be paid for acreage, for example. So even when people are not doing exploration, when they're not doing seismic work, they pay a rent to the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
Now, Trinidad and Tobago, listen to this, eh? Last May, Young said that Trinidad and Tobago was already paying a portion of over $1 million per year in taxes to Venezuela as part of a deal. He said the payment due to Venezuela consisted of royalties, a special commission of 5%, surface tax and social contribution totaling $1 million and a confidential signing bonus. Now, my question to you, Trinidad and Tobago, what happened to our $1 million? And we only know about $1 million that was paid. What about other royalties that were paid to conduct testing, etc.? Would the government have to continue paying based on the agreement signed, or would the contract have to be terminated? Trinidad and Tobago, $1 million went to Venezuela, and we did not get 25 cents TT of gas, oil from Venezuela. Very soon, you hear Trump want to sanction Venezuela. You hear Trump want to put a sanction of 25% tariff on every nation that buy oil and gas from Venezuela. What is going to happen to our $1 million that was given to Venezuela? The non-disclosure agreement, their non-disclosure agreement said that we are giving you this money without returning it to us? I don't know, I'm asking. If the deal goes sour, do we inherit back that $1 million? Why did we pay royalty for oil and gas that ain't even coming in our country? That is how the system is work? Wow. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I did not know we paid for hope. I did not know $1 million was paid for hope to Venezuela. That's how we're doing it now? You see, Trinidad and Tobago always say, I am not here to bash. I am not here to bash. 10 years now you have bad road and it's fixed, but Saieed bashing. Nevertheless. So viewers, we're out of time for tonight. We'll run off this program tomorrow from 11:30 to 12:30 and we'll be right back here for another Real Talk with Saieed Ali as we go live another night.